This is the second part of the review video. In this part, I'll talk about my experience with this particular kit. In addition, I'll share some builder's tips for the Tamiya JS-2. Following that, I'll show the complete model kit, followed by conclusion and my recommendations. So, let's get started.
So here is the completed model kit. Next, I would like to show you some builder's tip. First thing I want to talk about is the white stripe. Those white crosses were painted by hand in real life, so a clean and straight line may not be very realistic. To paint those white stripes properly, I would suggest using some kind of putty instead of masking tapes. Masking tapes usually gives a clean edge, which does not look good on this particular kit. Liquid mask could be a good choice, and it would save a lot of time as well. Also, those stripes takes a lot of time, effort to mask, so I would recommend you do the masking and painting before you attach those handrails and other accessories. By the way, these sleeping bags and accessories are not part of the kit. I built them using putty. Also, pay attention that the right stripe does not go across to the back. So the white cross is on the top and on the side. For me, I actually used a combination of putty and masking tapes to paint the white stripes. The next thing I want to talk about is those tow cable hooks. The Tamiya kit has a design that there's an opening here, and it's designed for the tow cable to drop in. It needs to be filled with putty, and you need to do it before you start painting. Another thing you want to pay attention is that once you attach the hook here, then the tow cable hook cannot be removed. So keep that in mind. Also, as I mentioned when I went through the instruction manual, the instruction manual is not very clear about the positioning of this, and there's one on the other side. Again, like I said earlier, I recommend you to look some pictures of the actual vehicle, and the Tamiya website can also help you to decide how to attach these two. Another tip I have for you is that once the upper and lower hull are attached, it will be very difficult to put the track in. So I would recommend when you build the track, you divide the entire track into two pieces. What I did was I have an opening here and another opening here, so that the entire track becomes two pieces. So that makes it easier to put it on or take it off. The fitting of the parts are excellent, typical Tamiya. But I do find that you need to feel where the upper and lower hull meets. It's behind the spare track. Another place you may want to feel is where the top and bottom of the turret connects. That's another place you may want to feel. Another thing I found is that the plastic used by this kit is a little bit different from what I'm used to. It does not go very well with Tamiya extra thin cement, so that's something to keep in mind. For this kit, ejector pin marks are generally not an issue. Most ejector pin marks are cleverly located where they are not visible. The only exception being the pin marks on the inside of the turret left hatch. So you have to fill and sand before you're attaching the periscope. Otherwise, with the periscope in the way, it's not very easy to remove the ejector pin mark. For the figures, those are typical Tamiya figures. They don't look bad, but there are mold lines on the figure, so you have to remove those mold lines. For this particular model, I found that there are gaps in the shoulder area that you may want to fill. Okay, here as well, over there. So those are the places you may want to fill. Other than that, I really like how those two figures look. I also want to add that the bags and the tarps, those are not part of the model kit. I built this myself using epoxy putty. This one comes from another kit. I thought that the tank looks better with those accessories. Finally, regarding the paint scheme, the instructional manual calls for Tamiya TS28. I don't have it, so instead I used Tamiya XF61. It turned out to be a lot darker than I like, so you may want to try something different. So that's it. That is what I like to share with you regarding the building experience of this Tamiya IS-2 model kit.
Next, let's roll the music and show you the studio shots of the completed model kit. At the end of the day, my conclusion of this Tamiya IS-2 kit is as follows. This is certainly a great kit. It has a lot of details, especially just look at the cast upper glaciers, cast turret, cut marks, and roll lines. They're fantastic. There are almost no obvious seam lines except on the figures. The tools for suspension and the tools for the tracks are very helpful. I really like that feature. This kit has a reasonable part count, so that's a plus for me. Although there are some minor issues, for example, the seam lines on the figure reminds me of some of the old Tamiya kits, and there are some minor fillings needed here and there. The two-piece gun barrel may not be ideal. You may want to use putty along the line and sand it smooth later, or invest in a metal one. So what's my final thought? What's my recommendations? Well, this is easily one of the best Tamiya kit I've ever built. It's a very pleasant build. I would recommend this kit to anyone, even if you're just getting into this model building. So 2 thumbs up. That's it for today's video. If you find this video helpful and informational, please like and subscribe. If you don't like this video, please let me know what you think. Leave your comments below, and that will help this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.